Welcome to another episode of Undiagnosed Baddie, my 10-minute daily podcast just about my random thoughts. Now, I am going to get into free will today because people are such sheep followers outside of followers for social media. And the reason why I say that is because people find a term and they turn it into a trend and it gets the fuck on my nerves. And the reason why I say that is because free will has been being used circulating on social media recently. And I'm speaking from a place of being a Sagittarius woman. Okay. So I have Sagittarius heavy in my chart, more than usual. And if you're into astrology, zodiac, that would perfectly make sense if you recognize any of the patterns or things that I said. Um, Moving forward. Okay, so free will, this thing that we have to do whatever the fuck we want whenever we want to do it. And I saw somebody say something as simple as, I saw this girl get on the train to go down from New York to DC, or it was DC to New York, um, for a day, get a hotel, and come back. I'm not using my free will enough. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, as a Sagittarius, as a traveler, as someone that just likes to go and experience life and live life and do everything that is lively. I'm going to try it at least once. Just seeing someone say, I'm not using my free will enough to get on a train and go spend a day somewhere, even though they can. What is stopping you? What has been ingrained into you? What is your fear that you don't just get up and do whatever you want? I tell people all the time, you only have one life to live and you don't know when it's going to end. So why not make the best of it? If you have some money to get a train ticket and go to another city, or a flight to go to another city, then go do it. You don't have to wait on people to do the things that you want to do. I have missed out on several things waiting on people just because and not to say I didn't have the money to go. It was, come on, let's get our tickets to do X, Y, and Z, and people drag their feet. In hindsight, dealing with men, I realized that they didn't have the money. And they don't want to tell me that they don't have the money. And they don't want me to go to said event. So when I say don't let anyone or anything stop you from going to do the things that you want to do, free will, just people saying, I can go to the other side of town and work, and I'm not using my free will enough because I told someone no today, and that's how they're using it. And that shit, I don't know why it's making my skin crawl. It's just like, do what you want to do every day that you want to do it. I think that ties into another topic that I stated a few weeks ago when my homegirl wanted to do the 1,000 no's, right? And I watched a few more videos and I got into it a little bit more. And I was like, I see where people are coming from, where they're just going to keep asking for things, because you never know when someone's going to say yes. But to get 1,000 no's. And I was like, that's some psychological, why would you abuse yourself that way to get 1,000 no's when you could be told yes, right? Like, that's what abusive relationship do you want with yourself or with others for you to constantly get rejected? And they call it rejection therapy. I still don't. So even though I went back and watched some videos, I could say, okay, I see why some people want to do it, to get them out of their introvertness. And then I just sit back and be like, no, I don't see why people want to do that, because you can just go do it. And I just be AAVE. I just be doing the things. I just do the things that I want to do. And I want to remind y'all to just live. And when people drag the terms into, like when they say FAFO, Black people have never acronymed a cuss word or some shit. And when people say FAFO, I know they are a type of black, which didn't grow up around blacks, and or a person of color. Hello. You hear me? Or Caucasian, white. Because blacks are not gonna say, no, FAFO, right? It's just like that don't even flow. Like, bitch, you fuck around and find out if you want motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's how that goes. You know, say FAFO. It doesn't hit the same. So that's how I know. And then a lot of times when people put CTBU, like cracking my butt up, baby, just put LOL. LOL is already the censored version of laughing. Like, it's like, that's just how I feel about that. And it doesn't bother me. I just be looking at it like, you're not my type of black. You feel me? There is some controversy going on in the trans community with Dominique Morgan, the DL Whisperer, and everybody coming out, and T.S. Madison and all this other stuff coming out about Dominique Morgan stealing this $100,000 from this nonprofit, honey. And so I'm going to choose these words wisely because the court case is not over yet, okay? So basically, Dominique has been charged with stealing $100,000 from, now Dominique is a trans woman, male to female. And they've blown up on TikTok. And so, of course, you take that to other platforms and you cross post your content. Now, TikTok was the main hurrah. So, DL Whisperer came out and was like, oh, she got this court case coming up for stealing all this money, this, and this, but this y'all savior, blah, 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 blah. Now, do I think the DL Whisperer is messy? Absolutely. Absolutely. But court cases don't lie. Now, the difference with this one is Dominique is being charged criminally, not civilly. Now, if they were only being charged civilly, that doesn't carry jail time. And the jail time associated with the criminal charge that she pled guilty to on February, it was between the 11th and 16th. You got to say stuff like that because people will argue you down in your comments that she actually pleaded guilty. Yeah, I did it. Okay. Sentencing is in April. What I'm going to say is you have to be careful. Do your Googles on who we start listening to, and I'm not saying that because they are a thief that you can't listen. However, there are levels, in my opinion, to thievery. Okay? You cannot steal from the underrepresented and the minority and expect to get any respect from me. Stealing, money laundering, theft of coins from underrepresented communities or children. All of that boils into that. It's going to be a very interesting few months and few weeks because the people that call Dominique Auntie Dominique are going to be soul crushed once and if this particular person goes back to prison. This is not the first time, if they go to prison again, that they've been to prison, that she's been to prison. I don't know. That's just some tea for y'all because everybody doesn't keep up with the same stuff. So now y'all have something to look out for. But I will say, Dominique used her free will to steal the money. Unfortunately, it caught up to her. So, I like my little entertainment segment, but that was just on my mind. So, Stop stealing from nonprofits. How about that?